ever, Jeffrey! Jeffrey, I hate you!
High-profile criminal defense cases fascinate the public. We watch them unfold in courtrooms, followed by millions of people who are glued to the smallest of details. But have you ever wondered what really goes on in the minds of everyone involved? From the defendant to the lawyer and even the jury. High-profile criminal cases are psychological roller coasters. Today, we're diving into the minds of those caught up in these cases to uncover what really happens behind the scenes. Public pressure. When a case becomes high-profile, the court is no longer just a courtroom. It's a stage. Everyone is aware of the public's eye on them, from the lawyers to the judge. This pressure often shifts the behavior of everyone involved. For the defendant, this attention can be overwhelming. Imagine having millions of people judge your every move, every word, and even your appearance. That pressure can lead to an altered self-image, causing them to act differently in court, like showing more emotion than they naturally would, or sometimes suppressing it entirely. For defense attorneys, the stakes are incredibly high. A high-profile case can make or break a career. They know they're being judged by legal professionals and the public. Some attorneys thrive under pressure, using the media to sway public opinion, while others crumble, unable to handle the stress. This often leads to emotional exhaustion, heightened aggression, or risky strategies that they might not normally consider. Media influence. Media coverage plays a massive role in these cases. It not only shapes public opinion, but it can also influence the jury, attorneys, and even the judge. Media bias is something that's almost unavoidable. Depending on which outlet you follow, you'll hear completely different perspectives on the case. News outlets often take sides, intentionally or not, and this bias can trickle into the courtroom. The jury, who are supposed to be impartial, are often exposed to media reports before the trial. Even though they're instructed to avoid the media, let's be honest, it's almost impossible to block out all the noise in a high-profile case. For the defendant, constant media scrutiny can lead to heightened anxiety, paranoia, or even depressive symptoms. They know the public opinion could affect their chances of a fair trial, so they often try to control the narrative by giving interviews, releasing statements, or even dressing in a way that portrays them in a better light. Defense strategy. The defense strategy in high-profile cases is often different from regular cases because of the media and public's involvement. In these cases, public relations becomes just as important as legal strategy. Defense attorneys often humanize the defendant, making them relatable to the jury and the public. They may focus on emotional appeals, bringing up the defendant's family, community ties, or personal struggles to gain sympathy. This can sometimes work to their advantage, as jurors are people too. They have emotions and biases just like the rest of us. On the flip side, there's a strategy called blame shifting, where the defense tries to shift the focus to someone else, whether it's the police, the victim, or even society as a whole. The goal is to create doubt in the jury's mind. If they can't be sure of guilt, they can't convict. Jury dynamics. The jury in high-profile cases is under immense pressure. They're regular people, tasked with making life-altering decisions, and they know the world is watching. This pressure can lead to something called conformity bias. Conformity bias happens when a juror changes their opinion to match what they think the rest of the jury believes. No one wants to be the odd one out, especially in a high-profile case where their decision could spark outrage. Jurors might also experience confirmation bias, where they start looking for evidence that supports the narrative they've already accepted, ignoring anything that contradicts it. Another key factor is empathy. Jurors are more likely to sympathize with a defendant if they can see themselves in that person. This is why defense attorneys often try to portray their client as a normal person who made a mistake or was wrongfully accused. Defendant's mindset. For the defendant, the psychological toll of a high-profile trial can be extreme. They may experience a wide range of emotions, from anxiety to anger and even detachment from reality. One of the most common psychological effects is learned helplessness. This happens when a person feels they have no control over their situation and starts to believe that nothing they do will make a difference. This can lead to a lack of participation in their own defense, which is dangerous because it can affect the outcome of the case. There's also the risk of dissociation, where the defendant mentally checks out to cope with the stress. They might appear distant or unemotional during the trial, which could work against them because the jury might see this as a lack of remorse. On the flip side, some defendants may develop a hero complex, where they start believing that they're destined to win the case because they're somehow special or misunderstood. This can lead to overconfidence, making them more likely to take the stand and testify, which is usually a risky move.
But I made a mistake. I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to betray me as.
Celebrity defendants. When the defendant is a celebrity, the psychology shifts even more. Celebrities are used to being in the spotlight, but a criminal trial is a different kind of attention. For some, this added attention boosts their confidence. They believe their public persona can help sway the jury or even the judge in their favor. But for others, it leads to increased paranoia as they become obsessed with what the public thinks of them, which can affect their ability to participate in their own defense. Defense attorneys often use the celebrity's fame to their advantage. They play up the idea that the celebrity is being targeted because of their status, or that the charges are exaggerated due to their public image. This can create sympathy from the jury, especially if they're fans of the celebrity. Role of fame. But fame cuts both ways. In some cases, a celebrity's fame can backfire. The public and even jurors may harbor resentment towards celebrities, believing they live by a different set of rules. This is why defense teams sometimes downplay their client's fame, presenting them as just another person caught up in a bad situation. A key challenge is maintaining control over the celebrity's image. Defense teams have to constantly manage public relations, which adds an extra layer of stress to an already complex legal battle. Lawyers' psychology. Defense attorneys in high-profile cases aren't just defending their clients, they're defending their own reputation. This can lead to a psychological phenomenon called ego involvement. Ego involvement happens when the attorney becomes so personally invested in the case that they start taking everything personally. A loss isn't just a professional setback, it's a blow to their ego. This can lead to reckless decisions, like putting their client on the stand or pursuing a risky defense strategy. On the flip side, some attorneys thrive in the spotlight. For them, high-profile cases are a chance to showcase their skills, and the media attention fuels their drive. They often become media personalities themselves, giving interviews and using the case to boost their public image. Public opinion. The public plays a significant role in high-profile criminal cases, even though they're not in the courtroom. Public perception can shape everything from jury selection to the final verdict. In some cases, the court of public opinion is harsher than the actual court. A defendant may be publicly convicted before they even set foot in a courtroom, thanks to media reports and social media chatter. This can influence the jury, who are supposed to be impartial, but are still part of the public and can't completely ignore what they see or hear outside the courtroom. Conclusion. High-profile criminal defense cases are far more than just legal battles. They're psychological wars. From the pressure of public scrutiny to the influence of the media, these cases are fraught with psychological challenges for everyone involved. The defense strategy, the jury's mindset, the defendant's mental state are all shaped by the unique stressors of a high-profile case. In the end, what happens in the courtroom is only part of the story. The real battle is often psychological, and the outcome of the case can hinge as much on what's happening in the minds of those involved as it does on the evidence presented. Do you think the psychological pressure in high-profile cases influences the final verdict more than the evidence itself? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.